Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I thought that I would take this opportunity that I actually have decent internet outside of a Denny's I just ate at to kind of give people a review of what it's been like in Ohio the past couple of days. And I gotta tell you, if you're looking for a little bit more freedom than, say, New York, Pennsylvania, and, I hate to diss New Hampshire because they were doing a very good job compared to New York. Ohio is much better. If you look behind me, if I were to put that in there, to any restaurant with a mask, the staff is not required to wear masks everywhere. So, for instance, I went through a drive-through. How we doing, Melanie? Yesterday, and this is the first time I've gone through a drive-through since this thing where nobody was wearing a mask. Thank goodness. No one's wearing a mask inside. They're not play acting or pretending like that's going to help anybody. And they actually took my money out of my hand. There wasn't contactless, delivery. They call it contactless delivery when they hand you something in a plastic box. They handed me my bag, There was human contact. And even the staff here that's wearing the mask, they're pulling it under the nose. It's not highly enforced. It's almost like play acting, The Jackman brothers, they referred to it as LARPing. There's a lot of LARPing going around. So, answer that phone if the contact tracers call you. Answer that phone. You don't got to fucking answer that phone. Why should you be beholden to a modern-day brown shirt organization headed up by Michael Bloomberg? For any reason whatsoever. You shouldn't. Okay? You shouldn't. And I find it disturbing. I find it disgusting. I find it alarming that New York, a state that is supposedly all about bail reform and police reform, and they're releasing prisoners before COVID 1984, then they release even more prisoners during COVID 1984, that they're going to subpoena you and charge you if you don't talk to their modern day Gestapo, and they're going to claim the moral authority. No. So, what else do we got going on for you today in Ohio? I'm supposedly going to be meeting up later this afternoon with Taylor Hudak, who is a great independent journalist. She works with Action for Assange, but she does a lot more than that. She's done some stuff with Tariq Hadid, formerly of Newsweek. And hopefully we're going to go meet up at a local park here and take a walk, maybe do a walk and talk about the latest Assange stuff, and talk about why that's still so damn important, especially in a time when more and more speech is being pulled, when more and more speech is being demonized. Someone in my feed is showing me, I think it's a Minnesota physician / government official that dared talk about certain things about COVID 1984, and now the Medical Review Board is after him. They're going to review what he has to say. What? And here's the other thing. Yeah, it is kind of hot here. It's been in the 90s the past couple days. I think it's 93 outside right now. It's definitely been a switch up for me. There was a couple summer days that it was kind of hot in New York, but not like this. It's finally really hitting. Here's the thing. If you think this is going away, I want to give you an idea of why it's not, and an alarming thing that shows that it's probably not, and not on its way out ever in certain areas. At least through election season, you better believe it. I'm not saying this is all about getting Trump out of office, but those in power will use it to try to get Trump out of office, even though he's not the best thing since breakfast. Yeah, military games out in the South China Sea while China's running their military games, dangerous. However, Walmart sees the big picture, sees the long run, and in partnership with Robert De Niro, another guy that, fuck Trump. That's right. Fuck Trump. He's teamed up with Walmart to retrofit, ready? Retrofit 100 160 Walmart parking lots as what? Drive-in movie theaters. Why is that important? Well, that shows you that many states are not going to reopen their movie theaters, period. You know, New York has not allowed, okay? Listen, if we want to talk about the South China Sea and, you know, the dick waving going on there and the challenge to China, it's a whole nother issue. It's a whole nother issue than what we're talking about right here. I just think it's a dangerous one. I just read a Neil Ferguson, who's kind of like the Carol Quigley of the Bilderberg Group right now. He's their modern day historian, and he goes sometimes. Charlie Skelton just tweeted out an article from yesterday that just, I read the whole thing. It was super alarming. Super alarming, man. I mean, the way he was talking about it and hyping up the second Cold War against China, I didn't like it. And he's a mouthpiece of the elites, okay? And he was encouraging it. He was talking about embracing Cold War II. And it's not something I'm going to be embracing. Anyway, back to the movie theaters. 160 movie theaters being retrofitted so far. Well, that shows you, again, that Walmart is getting ready to go to the new normal, and every other parking space will probably be a spot for somebody to sit there and watch a movie that they can get on demand, etc. But it shows you that this thing is far from over. Far from over. I mean, if you're not watching what Cuomo's done, because, you know, he's about to give another press conference, it may be overlapping right now over in New York. And I got to be honest, I've been on the road. I haven't been able to see a bunch of the articles, videos. It's hard enough just to keep up with what's going on with Ghislaine Maxwell. By the way, Ghislaine Maxwell supposedly sometime this week in a New York courtroom. I was hearing Friday. Some people thought Monday. I don't know that she's even been moved from New Hampshire yet. I don't. Okay. Let's see. Streaming services are going to rake it in, invest wisely. Friday is the day on court. That's what I thought. So be aware, guys, that if you don't like where you're living now and your government, your local government is not pushing back against a state government that's being authoritarian and Orwellian, maybe it's time to go. You know, South Dakota sounds better and better every single time I see that governor speak. It's just a fact. You know, when she's telling people to come out here and, we're not going to shut down your business. We're going to handle things the right way. Population density isn't the best thing. We're going to protect Teddy Roosevelt monuments. That rings true to me. That rings just like, wow, great. It's awesome. I like that. So, guys, I want to remind everybody, I am fully demonetized on this platform. Probably not going to be able to do a mixed martial mindset tonight, which sucks because I think that's the first time in like 40 weeks. Maybe even more, almost a year, that I won't be able to do the Mixed Martial Mindset live. Why would I go home, Norm Macdonald Clips? I'm finding a new home, period. That's it. New York is done. It's donezo. If you're living in New York State, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of there. The taxes are high. They're pulling for mandatory vaccines already on your kids. Now they want everybody to take a COVID 1984 vaccine that hasn't even been developed yet. And they want to put it on the book. The Constitution is a problem because we need to do this nationally. New York is done for me. We're gone. I'm packing up, guys. That's it. I mean, if it were between just Ohio and New York right now, to Ohio, I'd move here for sure. I'm probably 5-10 minutes away from Cleveland, not even. Right? Cleveland's not huge, but it's got a decent urban sprawl. And there's tons of areas where I could get a 3-bedroom house here for $800 or $900 in a decent neighborhood. All right? As far as like group broadcasts right now, my man, I just don't have the capability. It's hard enough to just get good internet. Like last night I wanted to go live. I could barely get internet in my hotel room. Okay? So, the next, really, is that how it went? The next big trip is going to be to Kansas City, Missouri, or outside of Kansas City, Missouri. It looks like I'll probably stop in Missouri first because Kansas City's all the way on the other side of the state. Get a hotel room, feel out a little bit of Missouri during a day, and then check out Kansas City. But I would imagine that that's going to be even better than this. And then when I get to, I mean, Cleveland wasn't terrible. And then when I get to Missouri, then we'll go from Missouri, I think, to Wisconsin. But everything's still up in the air. Thumbs the video up, subscribe, share, donate in the GoFundMe if you can. And I think we're going to hit, I think it's like Cascade Falls is what it's called. A park later with Taylor Hudak, where we're going to try to do one of the old school walk and talks and show you guys that, you know, the citizens here don't seem to be that afraid of this. They're not the ones running around wearing masks, tattling on one another. The state guidelines are pretty loose. Anyone asking me where at in all these places, you're hearing it. I don't know. I get there, I go on my little phone, I find a hotel, and I stay at the hotel, and that's it. That's what I do here, guys, on this trip. I mean, this isn't really a vacation for me. This is me checking out the rest of the country during a very weird time and trying to figure out where I want to live my life. Okay? I mean, that's it. Yeah, you can't wait to get out of New Jersey just as bad. Well, that whole block, right? New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut have kind of come together lockstep. And to me, that's also extremely frightening. So thumbs it up, subscribe, share. We'll be on the flip.